everyone! So I'm gonna make it easy on myself and just film 2 videos in one go. So hello, I'm in the same outfit I was in for my April TBR. This is gonna be my March wrap up, so thank you for being here. I'm excited to talk about all the books. I read 13 books in March. How did that happen? No idea. Really it was because of middle grade March. I read 5 books for middle grade March. So here we go. All of the middle grade books that I read, I made a vlog for, so I'm actually just gonna link the vlog down below. I will quickly run through the books that I read, but I'm not gonna say anything about them, okay? So you'll just see a quick picture. Am I even gonna do that? You know, I'm just gonna read off the names, okay? And then I'll link the video down below. If you wanna see the middle grade books that I read in March, I have a vlog where I reviewed every single one. So I read The Curious Garden, The Last Quintista, Christie's Great Idea, Rain Rain, The Perfect Pony, and that's it. Okay, so that's 5. So they're all in the video. Check the video if you want to see more. So let's move on to the non-middle grade books that I read. Okay, you will see that I read a lot of nonfiction because in March I started my new job and it's going great. I'm very happy. And funny enough, for my job, they gave me 3 books that they wanted to read because they kind of like encapsulate the philosophy that the job focuses on in the workplace. And so I read 2 of the 3. I'm just gonna talk about the fiction books right now. I read 3 fiction books and then I'll do all the nonfiction after because I read about 5 nonfiction. So I did reread The Shack in March, and I made a whole reading vlog discussion reflection video, so I'll link it down below. It's pretty long, and you do need to have read the book because I talk spoilers pretty specifically, like I read quotes out of the book and stuff. So I did make a video all about that if you want to see more. I really enjoyed it. I got a lot out of it. So that's all I will say. If you want to see more, check the video. So thankfully I've got a lot of videos that correspond with the books that I read. Okay, and then I also read Life Flight by Lynette Eason, and I really enjoyed this book. I like Lynette Eason's writing. It reminds me of Danny Petrie's writing. Super easy to consume, exciting, funny, good characters. I really enjoyed it. So this first book follows a woman who is a helicopter pilot, and she is like a rescue helicopter pilot. They actually called it a life flight helicopter, so I didn't know that was a thing, but anyways, yeah, she rescues people that are like stuck places and you need a helicopter to save them. So she's on a job doing that, but she hits a storm, and so they have to kind of crash land on a mountain, and at the same time, there is a serial killer that broke out of jail, and so the FBI are like chasing after him, and it's in the same area. One of the FBI guys knows the girl. They like kind of have history, they're friends, and like slowly working towards more. And so they like work together to save the person in the helicopter, but then also defeat the serial killer. And stuff happens around that. But it starts off with like really great action, so I was super into it right away. And I just really enjoyed it. I liked the characters, there was good faith in it, and it was entertaining the whole time. Lots of twists and turns, and definitely want to continue reading this series. So that was really great. I would definitely recommend this book. It came out January 4th, I'm pretty sure, sometime in January, so it's like a fairly new release. And it definitely made me like Lynette Eason, so I want to read more of her books going forward. Okay, and then lastly, for fiction, I read The Enlightenment of Bees by Rachel Linden, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I gave it 2 stars. Honestly, it could probably get 1 based on how I read it. So I started reading it and kind of was bored right away. Something about the writing didn't flow for me. And I can't describe, sometimes there's writing that just feels like a slog to read, and I don't know why. It just is what it is. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. But there's like other authors where like their writing reads so fast. Like Tammy L. Gray is like that for me. I can read her writing so fast and just love it. So I don't know. But anyways, this was not like that. Plus the main character, I don't know. I think I'm probably judgmental, but she was like in her late 20s, and I guess I don't know what it's like to be in a long-term relationship, but she starts off that she's in a long-term relationship. She thinks it's going to lead to marriage, but he ends up breaking up with her. And just everything around that, I was like, I guess, is that realistic? I don't know. And why do I care if it's realistic? I don't know. But either way, the main girl character, I didn't really connect with her. I didn't like her pretty much. Not in a, like a bad way, not that she was a bad person, but like I didn't have any feelings about her. And then just the way the story was written was just boring. Like we kind of spent a lot of time on different aspects of like the setting that just was like kind of unnecessary, or like she would like tell a scene in like just a boring way to me. I don't know. I skimmed most of it, and I actually, so I had the physical book, but then I was like, I'm never gonna read this, so I returned it to the library and I got the ebook on my phone. And there's sections in the book of different places she travels to. Basically, when she gets broken up with, she signs up for this like humanitarian cruise where they go to different places around the world and like help out. So each place they went to was a section of the book. And so what I would do is I'd read the last chapter of a section and then the first chapter of the next section and then skip to the last chapter, and that's what I did for all the sections. And I truly didn't feel like I missed anything. Like I still got introduced to the characters. She has a love interest and I see what happens in the end, and that's how I did it. So really, did I read this book? I mean, a little bit. So that's why it kind of feels like I should give it 1 star, but it just like wasn't for me. So yeah, this was the buddy read book for all of my Christian booktube friends. We are going to talk about it on Saturday, so I guess tomorrow after this video goes up. It's not going to be a live show or anything, but anyways, it was a buddy read I was doing with my friends. And yeah, so I'm very curious what everyone else is going to say. I don't know who enjoyed it the most out of all of us, but I'm definitely on the lower end, I would say. Although I think most of us have like pretty mild to not great feelings about it. So anyways, I would not recommend this book. It was pretty boring. Nothing stands out. There was no faith in it that I remember, although obviously I skimmed a lot, so maybe there was and I just didn't catch it. But it was clean. I didn't catch any swear words. Like, yeah, it is what it is. So there you go. So now we're on to all of the nonfiction that I read. So here's kind of a sneak peek. I did read no, this is it. Okay. Yeah. So I'll do the Christian nonfiction first. I did read Forgotten God by Francis Chan, and I wasn't that impressed. Like this didn't do anything new for me. Although when this came out, it probably was new. But anyways, I ended up giving it 3 stars. I liked the writing, I like his voice, but you know, the content was just like fine. I guess that's all I'll say. Okay, and then I did finish Help, My Bible is Alive by Nicole Unice. This is kind of like a 30-day devotional that helps you learn how to read your Bible more effectively and like really study it. So they would have like Bible verses, and then you're supposed to like take notes. So every day had that, and I super enjoyed this. It was just fun. It was fun that I like had to write in it. Like it gave you space, and I used different colors on different days just for fun. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. I would even read it again, honestly, just to see if my like thoughts change on different things that I wrote. But I really liked it. So if you ever see this book around, I would recommend it. I really liked the way that she taught about how to study the Bible, and it was just like useful. So okay, and then these are the 2 books that I had to read for work. So it's The Ideal Team Player and The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. And I really enjoyed these books. It was like fun. I started with this book because we're actually doing a book study on it. So we meet and talk about, because there's 5 dysfunctions. So the 5 dysfunctions are absence of trust, fear of conflict, lack of commitment, avoidance of accountability, and inattention to results. So these are all dysfunctions within a team that make you less productive and less happy at your job. And so my job is trying to avoid these issues by doing the opposite of them, which he also lists. So what he says what each of these looks like is absence of trust is invulnerability. So when you aren't vulnerable with each other, you don't really know each other, so how can you trust someone you don't know? Fear of conflict leads to artificial harmony. So if there's never any conflict, then you just kind of like get along, but it's not real because there should be conflict if you're like being true to yourself. And so artificial harmony. Lack of commitment means ambiguity. So you like don't really commit to the goals of the team. You're just kind of there, but you're ready to pull out at a moment's notice. So ambiguity, I guess. Avoidance of accountability leads to low standards. So you don't really care how things go because there was no buy-in anyways, and no one's holding you accountable, so you can do the bare minimum and get away with it. And then inattention to results. Basically, inattention to results of the team means you care more about your own status and ego. So you only care about how you're doing, not the whole team as a whole. So anyways, the way he tells it is in a story form. So he makes up a company, he makes up people, and he tells a story that kind of showcases all of those dysfunctions and how to recover from them. So it was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I liked this one the most, the ideal team player, because there's 3 qualities in a person that makes them an ideal team player, an ideal person to have on your team. And the qualities are hunger, humility, and smart. And so he goes into what those mean, like hunger as in you're like driven and really want to keep learning and improving yourself. Humility is you know that you can't do it alone. You don't try to just like go your own way and leave everyone behind. You know that you need your team. And then smart means you know how you function within a team, and you have emotional intelligence. You know how you make other people feel, and you can navigate that to be a nice person to be around, I guess, at work. So that was that. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I was like, I'm not mad that my work made me read. So that added 2 books to my book count this month. Okay. So that's my wrap up. It went by pretty quick because I didn't actually talk about 5 of the books in it. So again, check the description. I'll have videos linked down below, and thank you for watching this. I think that is everything from me. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will see you very soon. Bye. So yeah, maybe I'll just leave that up. Okay. And it's and Lencioni, yeah. Like I mentioned, yeah, in my April TBR. Anyways, okay. And let me just go to them.